Hey, y'all, picture this: you're rushing through a crowded airport, exhausted, just wanting to get home, and you grab the wrong suitcase. Sounds like a small mix-up, right? Well, for Lila Carter, that one mistake flipped her entire world upside down. I'm going to tell you a story about how a simple navy blue suitcase led to a life she never saw coming, a story that's messy, real, and maybe a little too close to home for some of us. So, Lila's at Charlotte Douglas Airport, dragging herself through baggage claim after a week in Jamaica. It's been her first real vacation in years, a gift to herself after her ex, Ryan, tore her heart out and left her questioning everything. She's a florist, runs a little shop called Bloom and Root in Raleigh, North Carolina. Nothing fancy, but it's hers, built from scratch after years of working for others. She's proud, but still healing. That trip to Jamaica was her hitting reset, finding herself again under those palm trees, with the ocean breeze washing away Ryan's cruel words about her small dreams. Anyway, she spots a navy suitcase, grabs it, and heads home, not noticing the tag says Elliot Kane instead of Lila Carter. Meanwhile, on the other side of the country, Elliot Kane's boarding his private jet in San Francisco. He's 34, CEO of Kane Lifestyle, a company he turned from a startup into a global brand in less than a decade. Guy's got it all: money, power, a penthouse with views most of us only dream of. But here's the thing, Elliot's numb. Success has cost him something: joy, maybe, or the ability to feel anything real. His assistant, Tara, is rattling off his schedule for a big New York pitch, but he's barely listening. He unzips his suitcase, expecting his usual stack of reports and tailored shirts, and, hold up, this ain't his stuff. Inside, there's a soft lavender scarf, a worn leather notebook with dried flowers pressed between the pages, and a tiny bottle of perfume labeled Rose and Amber. He pops the cap, takes a sniff, and bam, it's like a punch to the chest. Warm, sweet, alive. For the first time in years, something stirs in him, something he thought he'd lost. The luggage tag reads, Lila Carter, Raleigh, North Carolina. Elliot's supposed to be annoyed his documents are gone, after all, but instead, he's flipping through that notebook, seeing sketches of a flower shop, notes about a cafe expansion, dreams in neat handwriting. He's hooked, and he doesn't even know why. Back in Raleigh, Lila's unpacking, still riding the high of her trip, when she opens the suitcase and freezes. No sundresses, no journal, just crisp suits and a business card. Elliot Kane, CEO, Kane Lifestyle. Her stomach drops. She's got a CEO's suitcase, and her personal stuff, her grandmother's perfume, her notebook, that photo of her laughing on a Jamaican beach is out there with a stranger. She's about to call the airline when her phone rings. It's Tara, Elliot's assistant, all polite and professional. Ms. Carter, there's been a mix-up. Mr. Kane would like to meet you tomorrow at the Umstead Hotel in Cary to exchange bags. Lila's thinking, why's a big shot CEO handling this himself? Can't he just send a courier? But she agrees, mostly because she's desperate to get her journal back. It's got her heart and soul in those pages. Next day, Lila's standing in the Umstead's fancy lobby, clutching Elliot's suitcase, feeling out of place in her simple sundress. The elevator doors open, and out steps Elliot Kane, tall, sharp jawline, suit probably worth her rent for a year. He's got this intensity in his eyes, like he's sizing her up, but not in a cold way. More like, he's curious. Ms. Carter, he says, voice low, almost warm. She nods, fumbling through an apology. I'm so sorry. I was in a rush. The bags looked identical. He cuts her off. Not rude, just direct. It's fine. These things happen. They swap suitcases, and Lila's ready to bolt. But then he says, can I buy you a coffee? For the trouble? She blinks. Trouble? She's the one who messed up. But there's something in his tone, something that makes her say yes. Over coffee, Elliot's not what she expects. He's not all corporate swagger. He asks about her shop, her life, and when she mentions Jamaica, he says, saw the sticker on your bag. And, your journal. Nice sketches. Lila freezes. You read my journal? He looks sheepish, not smug. Just a page. I was trying to figure out who you were. Sorry. She should be mad, but the way he says it, like he's genuinely caught off guard by her, softens her. She tells him about Bloom and Root, how she built it after Ryan left, how her grandmother taught her to see flowers as stories, not just decorations. Elliot listens, really listens, and before they part, he says. I'm launching a new home line. We need floral designs, something real. Your work's got that. Want to consult for us? Lila's stunned. A billionaire CEO's offering her a job after one coffee? It's crazy, but she says she'll think about it. That's the start of it, the spark that sets everything in motion. Lila dives into the project, working late nights, sketching arrangements that feel like her honest flowers, wild, imperfect, full of life. Elliot shows up at her shop one day, no suit, just jeans and a rolled-up shirt, looking at her displays like they're art. This place feels like you, he says, and Lila's heart does a little flip. They start spending time together, dinners, walks in Pullen Park, even a night at her tiny apartment where he cooks pasta in her cramped kitchen. He's different there, less CEO, more human. He tells her about growing up in a small Maine town, working odd jobs to get through college, building his empire from nothing. She opens up about Ryan, how he called her dreams cute, and walked out when she wouldn't mold herself to his ambitions. Elliot's jaw tightens. He's a fool, he says, and the way he looks at her, like she's the most valuable thing in the room, makes her believe it. But here's where it gets messy. Elliot's life isn't just dinners and park walks. He's got board meetings, international calls, a world that never stops. One Monday, Lila's expecting him for coffee, but he's gone jetted off to New York without a word. She finds out through Tara, who's all, "Oh, didn't he tell you? It's a board thing." Lila's hurt, feeling like a side note in his big life. At a video meeting, he's all business, calling her Ms. Carter like they didn't kiss in her apartment the night before. She throws herself into her shop, trying not to check her phone, but the silence stings. Then, 2 days later, a package arrives, a silk scarf, soft green like her eyes, with a note. "Lila, I messed up. New York was scheduled months ago, but I should have told you. I miss you. Dinner Friday? Elliot." She's torn, but that note, his handwriting, the way he noticed her eyes. She texts back, "Dinner sounds good." Friday night, at a quiet restaurant in downtown Raleigh, Elliot's waiting outside, looking tired but lighting up when he sees her. "You're wearing the scarf," he says, and she quips, "Matches my eyes, right?" He laughs, but then gets serious. "I'm not good at this, Lila. My last relationship was all business networking, not love. With you it's real. It scares me." She admits it scares her too, especially after Ryan. "He said I wasn't enough, that my shop was a dead end." Elliot's eyes flash. He's wrong. You're more than enough. They talk, really talk, and by the end of the night, when he kisses her under the streetlights, it's like the world fades away. Things escalate when Elliot invites her to New York for the launch. His penthouse overlooking Central Park is insane, all glass and marble, nothing like her cozy apartment. She's out of her depth, meeting his team, dodging snide comments from investors who call her the flower girl, like it's a dig. At the launch, her designs steal the show wild. Vibrant arrangements that make the sleek products feel alive. But then a reporter corners her. "So, Lila, what's the deal with you and Elliot? Just a fling for the billionaire?" Before she can stammer a reply, Tara swoops in, pulling her away. Later, Lila finds articles online. Who's Lila Carter, the florist dating a billionaire? Comments tear her apart. She's after his money. Not even that pretty. She's shaken, wondering if she can handle his world. That night, Elliot finds her staring at her phone, eyes wet. "I'm sorry," he says. "This is my life, the press, the noise. I can't stop it." She's honest. "It's a lot, Elliot. I don't know if I'm cut out for this." He nods, giving her space, but the distance between them in bed that night feels like a chasm. The next day, in Central Park, Lila makes her choice. "I'm scared," she tells him. "But when I'm with you, I feel seen, really seen. I want us to work." Elliot's face breaks into a smile, and he pulls her close. "I love you, Lila. You woke me up, made me feel again." She laughs, teasing, "Love you too, even when you're a control freak with a phone glued to your ear." He promises to try harder, to be present. Before they leave New York, Elliot gives her a gift, a bottle of her grandmother's rose amber perfume, recreated perfectly. "It's how I found you," he says. "The scent that changed everything." Lila's heart swells. Back in Raleigh, she expands her shop with a cafe, not with Elliot's money but a loan she earns herself. He's there, cheering her on, learning to let her lead. Months later, on a trip back to Jamaica, he surprises her with a new suitcase and inside, a ring. On the beach, under a sunset like the one in her photo, he proposes. You're my home, Lila. Will you marry me? Tears in her eyes, she says yes, knowing that a simple mix-up led her to a love bigger than she'd ever dreamed. So y'all, that's the story of Suitcase, a scent, and two people finding each other against all odds. But here's the thing. Can love really bridge worlds that different? Lila's a small-town florist. Elliot's a billionaire with the world watching. Should she have walked away when the press got nasty, or was fighting for love worth it? Drop a comment. Tell me what you think. Have you ever had a moment, a mistake, that changed your life like that? Share your stories. I'm reading every single one.